Determine each function value. We learned on Friday that if you put p of x right above this, you'll see that your x value is going to be 1/3. Now, I'm going to write this problem out again because it got kind of cut off into the next line. And I was encouraging you to use fractions minus 9x minus 18. And every x value we're going to put in as 1/3. So p of 1/3 equals 1/3 to the 4th power minus 1/3 to the 3rd power plus 7 times 1/3 to the 2nd power minus 9 times 1 to the 3rd power minus 18. And really what this means is 1 to the 4th power. So that's 1 times 1 times 1, which is just 1. And this one's going to be 3 to the 4th power, which is 81. Or you can think of it as 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3 times 1/3. Same thing over here. This tells you that this is going to be 1 to the 3rd power, so 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. Class 3 to the 3rd power is 27. So I have minus 1/27. Remember, we learned on Friday's lesson to do exponents first before you multiply. So 1/3 times 1/3, this will become, or 1 squared is 1, 3 squared is 9. Okay, now when you get to a whole number times a fraction, class, how do you make -9 a fraction? I'm going to put it over 1. And that can help you show -9 times 1 is -9. And that's over 1 times 3, which is 3. And then the -18 stays the same. Alright, so I'm just going to go over and simplify these. So 7 times, remember we're going to make that a fraction by putting it over 1. 7 times 1 is 7. This is positive. And 1 times 9 is 9. Class, what's 9 divided by 3? -3 minus 18. And this one doesn't look like to be a fun fraction to... You could get a fraction, but you're eventually going to get a decimal anyways. So let's go ahead and convert those. So what I'm going to put in my fraction is 1 divided by 81. Some of your calculators can actually put all of this in at once. So let me try that with this calculator. But I will show you what I'm putting in here. 1 divided by 81. And if you get a fraction like I did on my screen, your calculator might have a button called S to D. I think it's standard to decimal. So if you press it, it will give you a decimal. Or if you go back, it should give you a fraction. See that? Now, let's try with this calculator. Let's see if I can put all this at once. I'm going to use parentheses. 1 divided by 81 minus parentheses 1 divided by 27. Close the parentheses. plus 7/9 plus parentheses 7 divided by 9. Again, not all calculators can do this, so you might have to individually do them and then add and subtract. Minus 3 minus 18. And it gets a big fraction for us, and then I can just convert it to decimals. So my answer is going to be, really 1/3 is 0.33, and that equals negative 20.24. I'll just stay there. And then on Friday, we learned to make a sketch. So this is a 4th degree polynomial. Even degree, starts up, ends up like a quadratic. Leading coefficient A value is 1, so it's going to stay that way. So it starts up, ends up. And remember, 4th degrees look like, most of them look like W's. And on Friday's lesson, we learned to highlight 1/3. The point of this 1/3 here is to help us focus there on the graph. And at 0.33, so like 33 cents, a little bit less than $1, but more than 0, on the positive side, it's down, going negative. So this represents the order pair, 0.33, comma, negative 20.24. That's what this function notation represents. It's an order pair, and there it is on our graph. Today's lesson, we're going to see if this is actually going to hit exactly on the x-axis. So that pink line is just to help you focus where is the graph intersect at 0.33.